Yesterday, it was revealed that Universal Studios Orlando had submitted a plan to the state of Florida to reopen a soft opening on June 1st and then June 5th to the general public. Now, naturally, this is of great interest to folks like me, to fans of Disneyland and Walt Disney World. We're going to want to watch how that goes, because surely Disney is going to follow within a few weeks after. Now, our assumption has been that parks are going to be using the reservation system in order to limit capacity. I mean, how else do you control how many people show up at the gates when the park opens? That's what Shanghai did, and it seemed to work out okay. But today, Universal Studios announced that they will not be using a reservation system. And they also announced that they are going to have a soft opening those first 4 days between June 1st and June 4th will be a soft opening for annual pass holders. At least that's my assumption. They said that they were going to invite, or the announcement that I read was that they're going to invite annual pass holders to a private whatever attendance prior to the June 5th opening. Now, a couple things to unpack here, because this intersects quite nicely with the conversation, with the video that we just put out this morning about how the reservation system has some side effects. Obviously, this eliminates all of those side effects that we talked about in that video, but it does create a couple new ones that should be discussed. First, I guess the main question that I have is, are they not expecting a lot of demand for these opening day tickets? Because if they were expecting a lot of demand for what is sure to be a 25% capacity limit on attendance, if they were expecting a lot of demand, where are they going to put all those guests who surely will be arriving at 10 a.m. Before the gates open to make sure that they get in? Surely there would be guests getting there at 4 or 5 in the morning, or if it's a Disneyland thing, overnight, which they've done, obviously. Where are they going to put those guests? I mean, or are they not? Are they not expecting a lot of people for this? It's an interesting question. You would have to think that they are expecting at least some kind of turnout for this, some kind of turnout that requires a modicum of management, or perhaps it's not so many that they think it will be a problem. Another problem. Surely there are going to be turning away guests at the gate. Let's say the park reaches capacity at noon. Okay, it's been open since, because the park hours, I believe, are 10 to 5 or 10 to 6 or something like that. They open the park at 10, reaches 25% at noon. People are coming in at 1 o'clock. I want to go to Universal. You can't come in. All right, where do they go? Where do you put those people? Are they just going to let them filter? I guess they would filter around in, what do they call it, City Walk? I don't know what they have in Florida, if it's the same thing. And I suppose that's what that place is for general guests to float around in. But I've seen Disneyland when they reach capacity and they're turning people away at the gates. I've seen what it looks like. It's a whole bunch of people out in the Esplanade, and it's not a pretty picture when it comes to social distancing. But like I said, maybe they're not expecting a lot of people to be in a hurry to get into Universal, which is kind of a bummer. Secondly, if there are no reservations and capacity is being eliminated, does that not effectively eliminate out-of-state visitors from coming to the park? Does it not eliminate people traveling a great distance to come to Universal? A reservation would be, for those guests, a guarantee that you get into the park, and therefore you can start making plans. But if there's no reservation, therefore there's no guarantee, is somebody really going to get on a plane and fly to Universal to go, or drive 8 hours or whatever? Surely not, right? Now, observing those two situations, it does make a lot of sense for them to hold back those first 4 days, June 1st through June 4th, if my assumptions are correct, for a soft opening for employees, cast members, and annual pass holders. These, I think it's natural to assume, those are the kinds of guests who would be the very first people to show up at rope drop opening day. Those would be your annual pass holders and your employees are the first guests to go. So go ahead and set aside a couple days for them, and then you take them out of the calculation. You take them out of the problem on June 5th. Those guests who have gone already to the soft opening probably are not going to come back again on June 5th. Thus, you've created more opportunity for your regular ticket holders, as it were. Now, on that note, with respect to demand and how many people are being let in, I do think that this is a situation, obviously that's not a permanent one. Really, this situation, I think maybe a month or two. Shanghai Disneyland, for example, opened at 25%, or maybe even less, because that doesn't look like 20,000 people in the videos that we saw on opening day. But they have been progressively adding more and more, a higher percentage of guests into the park as time has gone by. Just looking at videos recently, you can see that there's more people there, wait times are longer. They're definitely letting more people in. Maybe 5 or 10% a week or something like that, or maybe even more. Who knows? But I do feel like it won't take long for them to get from 25% to, let's say, 60. And that, by the way, 60 is generally where parks generally rest on an average day. So what that means is that for anybody who's concerned about whether or not they're going to get in and they don't want to risk it, they don't want to risk the trip, wait a month or wait a month or two. That's really all you got to do. So in a sense, I guess what this video is saying is it's good news that we're seeing what we're seeing. It's good news that Universal isn't too worried about demand, because in just a couple of months, they'll be operating at what is considered probably normal capacity levels. So it's not as urgent a situation as I might paint it out to be when I make this kind of video. I'm like, oh my God, they're not taking reservations. Ring the alarm bells. It's really not that serious when you kind of play the long game a little bit. But it is definitely a conversation worth talking about for those people who are interested in being there as soon as possible. And it's definitely a situation worth observing, because we're going to watch Disneyland watch this and see how they react and see what their plans are for Walt Disney World and Disneyland when the parks reopen, hopefully sometime in July. And as always, that's exactly what Fresh Baked is going to do. So stay tuned to our channel for any new developments on this. And until then, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Fresh Baked!